There you go.
They didn't have Copperberg, mate, so I've got you a special mix.
Oh, awesome.
So welcome to the Black Country Barbell, where today you've kindly given me a real bit of crack and piss. Yeah, so cheers.
Cheers, man.
You have a actually, I'd say a rum is at least a little bit manly, isn't it?
Yeah, rum.
Yeah,
At least
a little bit. It's better than your Copperberg, which actually I'm not going to take this out because I really like that as well. So.
How is it?
But yeah, this is the boys of the barbell, the Black Country one.
Definitely
Literally the bar.
Definitely not alcoholic. Not quite.
So today we're going to be playing a little bit Larry. We're going to have a shot of Kraken, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to be doing some triceps, shoulders, abs, calves, and today it's going to be another raw workout. You're going to see me hurt. You're going to see me sing badly, listen to good music, and get through this. But we're also going to go through instructionals of every exercise that I go through today, and I'm going to give you little hints and tips and pointers to be able to tweak the movement so that you feel it from the start to the finish of every single rep and every single movement. So, cheers. We'll crack on in a minute, Jay.
Crack on.
Crack on. Yeah, bring it back up, bring it back. We'll cracking on. Had my shot of Kraken, so now I'm loosey-goosey. Look at these moves.
Happy feet.
Happy feet. So today we're going to hit something a little bit different. So yes, we are going to be doing triceps, shoulders, abs and calves, but I'm going to show you how to do a complete cable workout. Now it might sound like a bad thing because everyone's like free weights are better, and I agree free weights are better, but many times when you're traveling, all you'll have is a cable machine to work with, or maybe you're getting a bit sick of the free weights, you're getting a bit bored and you want some variations. I'm going to show you some exercises which require control, focus, and work on that mind to muscle with contraction. So we're going to be using the cables, we're going to be using different handles, different grips, and I'm going to take you through each exercise. During the first set, I'll structure it, tell you where to position your body, how to squeeze, where to keep the load. Then I'm just going to go through a raw workout and you're going to see how this hits me. This is not about weight, it's about contraction. So think about that. If you cannot overload yourself with a lightweight, how do you think you're benefiting by using heavier weights if you can't even control that lighter weight? This is the kind of mentality that we want to be having whenever we're in a gym, whenever we're doing anything. So let's crack on. We're going to be supersetting, but I'm going to be supersetting one body part with another part. So I'm not going to be doing a tricep with a tricep. We'll be doing a tricep with a shoulder and vice versa. Make sense? Cool, let's go. So starting with, we're going to be doing triceps with a shoulder movement. Now, this is a great behind the head exercise, which is going to help work the long head of the tricep. This is also going to be very, very soft on the joints. So if you're finding that you're kind of getting beat down, elbows are hurting, anything like that on triceps, where you feel like doing the push downs or something grinding, shoulders aren't sitting, hurting, this is a great movement that's going to help alleviate those issues but still allow you to work that muscle in a very controlled manner. So you're going to get that same burn, that same pump, but you're not going to get any of that kind of joint stress. We're going to be using a rope. We're going to be using a knuckle together grip, as is how you're going to start, but then as we come up behind the head, we're going to be starting coming up and extending as full as possible. What you don't want to be doing here is trying to go as wide as possible. Big thing you'll see people do on this is they'll take this and put it all the way down to the bottom because they think, you know, it's coming up behind the head, it has to start low. This is not the case. It only needs to be as low as necessary so that when you lift it off, it's now releasing the stack. I don't have to do this horrible low twisting movement to get it up. I can literally just squat down and pick it up safely. So that's going to alleviate any pressure on the shoulders from that twisting motion. A lot of people, you'll find you get pain when you're lifting that weight up there. Now I know not all cables have this adjustment factor, and if it doesn't, then that's just tough shit really. I mean, you're going to have to do that horrible twisty thing. So from here I'm going to have it so that I can just literally squat down and pick it up. Now from here I'm going to have my knuckles facing each other behind my head so my elbows are wide. Then as I come up, I'm going to extend to the ceiling, spread my hands only as far as possible whilst I can still get a full extension. Then back down and get a nice deep stretch behind the head, as deep as possible, really pulling on that negative, controlling it, and explode back up. And this is what we're looking to do. And at the same time, I'm looking to keep my rib cage down, glutes engaged, and keep that core engaged. And what that's going to stop me doing is hyperextending my lower back, raising my rib cage, and that's going to help me tuck those elbows in if I want to. So you can go wide, or you can tuck those elbows nice and tight, then create a hammer grip behind the head and come up straight up and behind there. So if you find that you're getting any elbow pain, try coming in with the hammer grip, or then try wide. Try and find somewhere in that range where you alleviate the pain on that elbow. Plus, with it being higher up on the, what the heck would you call this? The slider mechanism. With it being higher up, it means once I'm done with the exercise and I get that final rep out, I no longer have to do that spin thing to drop it. I can safely just drop my knees and let the stack rest and walk away. So again, I'm reducing all that risk of injury. Everything we're doing today, 5 sets. We're going to be looking for 8 to 12 rep range. This is high frequency training. My method of training, high frequency. So 3 body parts, we're only going to be doing 2 sets. But what I do is I do this twice a week. And on each session, I will do different exercises. So you could have a heavy compound day, then come in and do days like this where it's just cables to help alleviate stress in those joints. I hope that makes sense and gives you a little bit of idea on how you can keep moving forward, even though you might have little bits of tweaks and pains and all that going on. It's just, this is how it is. We're gonna get hurt, it's inevitable. If we put our body through these stresses, through these pains, we're gonna get something tweaked here and there. What we don't want to do is like what most people will say is just, oh, stop and rest. Nah, we don't need to stop and rest. If you damage 3% of your body, there's still 97% of it that's still fully functional. So work around it, don't work through it. Right, ready?
Ready.
Let's fucking go. 2, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12. Now we move. So I said I'm supersetting this with shoulders. Now, if you find with lateral raises or shoulder movements, you're getting pain in the shoulders, here's a real nice one to be able to get your lateral movements in, but maybe help alleviate what's causing that impingement or that pain. We're gonna use a cable on the base level, and we actually do need it here for this. Lightweight, pick it up. What I'm gonna do, fully extend this arm and grip whatever you call this part of the machine. Yeah, I'm gonna grip and I'm gonna lean. Now, ideally do this with the mirror in front of you so that you can get an idea. What we're looking for is to have level shoulders so that when my arm comes out, I'm not like this or like this. I want this arm in line with my shoulder and I'm gonna lean over. What this allows me to do, it allows me to bring the lateral raise up to a full extension, but I'm alleviating a bit of that pressure on the shoulder from gravitational pull, because now the pull is coming across my body rather than straight down. And by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm allowing myself to be able to control the shoulder a little bit more, keep it in position, which is gonna probably help alleviate some of that pain, because a lot of that pain usually comes from a destabilization of the shoulder joint. So lightweight, lean, keep it all in line, and we're gonna come up and just down, standard lateral raise. This will bite hard. It is a beautiful exercise. And you can also play with this with a little bit more of a bent arm coming up in front. You can straighten the arm out, which is something I wouldn't recommend with dumbbells, but like this is a great way of having that full arm extension without creating pain with the shoulder. Again, 8 to 12 reps, and we'll superset that with the triceps. Obviously, this is individual arms. So once you've done one, straight into the next arm, flip it, lean it, feet at a nice angle, and bring it up and squeeze, control, fighting that negative. And then we're gonna go straight from one to the other. You do not need a rest in between set to set because we're training different body parts. So whilst I'm training this, those triceps are resting and they're ready to go. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Ribs down on everything we do, core controlled, body symmetrical.
Who would've thought I would be it? Nigga, just me. Bitch, I took dance, risk everything I ever loved in my life just to get on the stage and then rip it to pieces. I got what they want. Ayy, if this is a game with the fun, ayy, drama be coming for one. Ayy, Lolly the back and the front. Ayy, no kidding, I came from the block. Summertime, all your hands pop, pop, pop. Police pull up, you see cops. Everybody wishing that the violence would stop. Ayy, who would've thought? Who would've thought? I be standing right in front of you. It's hard to keep friends when you making moves. They get jealous, wanna kill your groove.
With this, the idea is pace high, intensity high. I want minimal rest times, I want maximum output. So this is about the lightweight and the contraction, but it's move, move, move. So we're testing the cardio system a little bit. We're keeping that blood moving through the body. We're getting that pump high and forcing blood through those muscles. the supersets, the reason you superset, there's no additional benefit to muscle here. It's about work rate and time consumption. If you want to get in and out in the gym in under an hour and you want to get a lot in there, this is when supersets come into play. Plus there's the mental side of just push, 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 go, go, go. But don't think that just because you're supersetting something, you're going to get more out of it than just doing each exercise singularly. That's not the case. What we're pushing here is mental boundaries, cardio, and reducing times down so we get in and out of here, but look jacked while doing it. So moving in now, rear delts and a crossbody tricep. So the crossbody tricep's simple. I've taken the handles off. That's going to be a simple grabbing the ball of the cable. We're going to step in. I'm going to bring it through my opposite side of my chest. So what I don't want is it here centrally. I want it across, elbow in line with the shoulder. I'm going to come down, across and squeeze, ending with a straight contraction. I'm really going to squeeze here. Now this one can be a little bit tough on the elbows. If you find that the crossbody hurts, you can just turn sideways and do it single arm and extend straight down. But again here, try and clear the hips out and let that arm finish at an angle to create tension all the way down. But I'm going to do this crossbody. So from chest to opposite chest, come across the body, squeeze, finishing at a slight angle so I'm not pulling all the way through, and then back up, switch arms. From that, we're going to go into rear delts. Now, you're going to use something that I call OK fingers with these. So we're going to grip like this above the ball. And what this is going to do, this is going to give you a nice, easy way of getting this exercise right. Because what we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking that OK grip and we're going to be pushing out and around. We're looking for an arched motion, an arc. Looking to make an arc around the body. So 1, walk across. 2, we've got the OK fingers. Now we cross the cables. Now what you're going to need to do is, because you're pulling away from the cable, you're going to need to step back ever so slightly. Bring your arms out. We're going to keep that scapula engaged. Bring your hands together. So if you're struggling with this a little bit, you can set your hands together and then push them out like that to stabilize. Then OK fingers. What you're going to then do is push your palms out towards the side walls either side of you. And we're looking for that arced motion. So the reason we step back from the cables is so we can come forward and around. Then I'm going to pull this, elbows high, around to the side and push the walls either side of me there. You'll feel this bite at the back. What we don't want to be doing is pulling down, which you see so many people do. We're keeping it high. Think about pulling it to behind your ears or just above your ear level. And we're going to be, boom, squeezing, keeping that rib cage down, making the shoulders work. So we're trying to avoid this and avoid this. We're going to sit strong, stand strong, sorry, pull, bam. Same things, 8 to 12 reps. Really work it, squeeze, don't let that rib cage pop, keep it down, 8, 9, 10, elbows high, boom. Then dismount, little twist, down safe, straight into that tricep. We're going to probably put this up a little bit of 1, find a happy medium, and off we go. 5 sets, fucking rock, boom. 3, 4.
Gang, looking right up, hard work, I believe in the luck. Who would've thought, look at the flaws, look at the walk. Pushing forward, nigga, no looking back. I move the world like a shark on my back. Burning in bridges, a piece in the gas. Who would've thought, hey.
So in literally under 15 minutes, already I've got a ruthless pump. Triceps fully engaged, shoulders pumped. And this is lightweight, but it's focused, it's tough, it's high paced, it's high intensity. Now we're moving on to abs, calves. So abs with calves supersets. What we're going to be doing, we're going to do something called wood choppers, but I'm going to do a slight variation and I'm going to keep it at a mid height. What a lot of people do is they'll come from high down to low, but personally I don't connect with that very well. What I do connect with is keeping the weight out in front of me, keeping that tension, loading my core, rib cage down, and then just rotating away and really focusing on squeezing with the opposite side of the core to the cable. Then what I'm going to do is turn around, switch, and do it the other way. So it's real simple. Find the weight, hold it out here. This is also going to test all your shoulder stability, and core stability from here. So I keep my hips in a line and I rotate just my upper body. What I'm not doing is rolling my hips through, and I'm not ripping the weight. So, and again, you don't need to stand 8 feet away from the cable. This literally just has to lift a millimeter off. So from there to there, it's enough. And then rotate, hold, back, stop, squeeze, stop, squeeze. Fantastic movement. If you squeeze your glutes a little bit, that'll help control your hips. From there, we're gonna go onto cars. Real simple. I've got a plate on the floor or anything that slightly elevates you off. I've got a straight bar on the bottom and I'm going to put a relatively heavy weight on the cable, enough that I'm able to control it, but also feel that load pull down through the body. Difference with this, I'm going to mimic that kind of explosiveness from the calves, that upward explosion. So I'm actually going to touch my heels down and then drive up from that position. What that's going to do is make sure that I am extending fully on the negative, and then I'm able to explode up and control myself safely. I'm going to hold the bar behind my body with just an overhand grip. So from here, picking the weight up, and I'm going to put my toes on the edge here. So it starts me from a full negative and then just explode, bang. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my heels out ever so slightly and explode, boom. 3. And what this is, you're going to really feel this, it's almost mimicking that explosion you have during a jump or a set off from a sprint. So we're creating a functional, useful calf raise. Let's really set it deep, bang, bang. At the same time, I'm squeezing my glutes, keeping my rib cage down, forcing all that weight down through into the heels. 9, 11, 12. Don't be afraid to reset on these if you need to, because it's all about the contraction and focus. Take a second and reset and do better reps rather than just driving through and getting numbers.
Check. People keep calling them that they go text. Wanting your cash like the first of the month. Music pick up but I'm still up in debt. Niggas be acting up like they go set. Gotta get the bands for my young ones. Gotta get the bands for my day ones. Gotta get the bands for my mama crib. Gotta get the bands for my little sis. Closed mouths don't get fed. Don't sleep, do that when I'm dead. Won't be satisfied till I'm in the mansion. Till my mama camping out inside a mess. Whoa, now that we blessed, they pulling up, they next. Bitch, I ain't Cali, but yeah, we the best. Let them keep talking, we don't even stress. Nah, yeah, who would've thought, who would've thought? Turn from a kid into a boss. Learn every time that I'm taking a loss. Who would've thought, who would've thought? All the support have been holding me up. All of the haters try holding me down. Bitch, I'm rocking, you ain't holding these rounds. Okay, looking right up, hard work, don't believe in the luck. Who would've thought, who would've thought? Look at the flaws, look at the walk. Pushing forward, nigga, no looking back. I move the world like a shark on my back. Burning your bridges, a piece of the gas. Who would've thought, who would've thought? Hey.
Last 2, all day, bitch. Squeeze. Squeeze. Oh, fuck. Up, up, up. Let's go. 10, 9. Yep. Oh. Some gratuitous nakedness, but there is purpose behind the nude flesh. I want to show you how to do these ab crunches. I want to show you how I'm going to connect with them, but obviously we need to be able to see the muscle to show that working. So we're going to be doing, finishing off, we're going to be doing the cable ab crunch, kneeling cable ab crunch with some single leg calf raises on the other side of the machine, which we'll get to after this. But this exercise here is fantastic, but it's probably one of the top exercises in the gym that is done incorrectly. And that's because people are focusing on the wrong point of load, and we can fix that really easily. And I'm going to do it now with a few simple steps. Number 1, don't have the cable too high so it's lifting you miles off the floor. That way, if we've got the cable a little bit lower, what we're able to do is put the weight back down and reset our body if we need to. So starting from a kneeling position, what I'm looking to do before I even begin this exercise is to not allow this arched back to occur with an expanded rib cage. So I want to pull my rib cage down, I want to pull my abs in. So already they're in a contracted state, but it's a relaxed, controlled, contracted state. And what that's going to do is help neutralize that lower back. From here, what I need to do is forget that there's weight in my hands. The movement starts here, not here. What you'll see a lot of people do is they'll do this. They'll have their weights here, they'll arch their back, and then they'll pull through with their arms, and then just bend over. Then come back up with an arched back, which completely takes all the load off the abs. So what we need to be doing, we need to be pulling our abs in, squeeze our glutes a little bit. That's going to help control the hips and keep everything neutral. Then pull the weight to the temple and then relax your hands. Almost forget that the weight's there. And now we're going to start the movement from here, not here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull with my abs down, crunch over, squeeze. And now here's the big important point. As you come back up, you need to pull your lower abs in and keep that lower back neutral, because what's going to want to happen is this, arch and release. And what that's doing is completely deloading all your abs. Make sense? So we pull in, relax our hands, contract, squeeze the glutes, start the movement at the abs, crunch, and then pull, release back up the same way we came down, keeping that lower back controlled. Handy hint, squeeze your glutes on that negative. As you squeeze your glutes, it's going to be near impossible for you to arch that back. Now go and do this, feel that, lighten the fucking weight and do it properly. Squeeze, control, and work that negative. Next up, we're going to be using single leg calf raises. So handle, what I'm going to be doing is using this foot of the cable. If you don't have the foot of the cable, this thing, just put something underneath your foot that allows you to elevate it. It can be anything. You only need to be a couple of inches off the floor. From there, what we're going to do, we're going to have a slightly bent leg. What this is going to do is work all that lower part underneath the calf as well as the calf itself. So we're going to be working the entire lower muscle of the leg. Single leg at a time also means that you're working independently each leg, so there's going to be no leading side. I'm going to use the machine to help stabilize. I'm going to contract my core and keep it tight. From here, lifting one leg up, taking the load on the working leg, bent knee, and then from here, get that full negative, and then squeeze up, and then release back down. Squeeze, down. And you see how my knee is staying bent the entire time. You're gonna feel this, work the calf, and the muscle all the way down through into the Achilles. The final superset, it's all about control, contraction, and working that mind to muscle. Let's fucking get it. Let's go. Last set, let's test it. Up 10. Fucking have him. Come on. Come on. 8, 9, 10. 8. 9. Done. How long did that take us? Max 35 minutes. 35 minutes. Shoulders, triceps, abs, calves, cables, no excuses. You can do this at any goddamn hotel that has any shitty cable machine going on. Or you can utilize this as a joint preserving routine to add in there. Keep that high intensity. Maybe go on the compound day, you go slower, heavier weights. And then the second day, if you're gonna train everything twice a week, there's gonna be a high pace, high intensity, muscle contraction, mind to muscle control. I promise you, the pump is just the same. The feeling is just the same. And when you complete this and you feel everything is just fired, everything's connected once you feel it, because when you're working those major muscle groups, you're also working everything alongside, or you should be. And that's what's gonna help us progress and create that overall physique that we're looking for. After doing things like abs, you shouldn't feel crunched and tight. You should almost feel released because you've worked that negative. If you're feeling like everything is crunched up, tight, and unreleased, it's probably because you're not focusing on controlling that negative and allowing the body to go back to a lazy position afterwards. So that is it for today. Another great time at the Black Country Barbell. That was terrible. That was scouse. My God, I have to stop doing these things. But the pump is real, the cracking was real. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. hit me up in the comments section with any questions you might have or anything else that you would like to see. Make sure to hit that notification bell, select all notifications so you don't miss any of this series, and I will catch you in the next Undisputed episode.
Lately I've been doing shit different, cooking like a chef, I've been all up in the kitchen. Had to make a move, had to make a little distance. Lot of people tripping, they could never see the vision. Fuck that, tell them bounce.